3 underrated mixing tips for beginners. With these, you can make the songs that you record at home sound cleaner and more professional. Tip number 1. When it comes to reverb, instead of adding a reverb plugin as an insert on each one of your track's channel strips, make a reverb bus instead and send all of your tracks onto that. Channel strip would mean I have this main vocal track here, and I go to the left here, my channel strip, and I would just put in a reverb here. We can do this and play around with the wet dry here, but if we do this for each and every one of our tracks, we'll have a bit of a different reverb on every one of them, and they won't sound like they're in one room together. So instead, you can see down here, I already have a couple of send buses. In Logic, it's very easy. You just go here, click bus, and then you open up a new bus. In this case, I have 2 reverb buses. First, I have this room, which is bus 10, and every single track in my session goes onto bus 10. I don't have a lot of every signal going onto here, but what this does is it creates a room that all of your instruments are in. And this really gives a mix a very natural sounding feel, when everything sounds like it's actually being played in one room. And then I have another vocal reverb bus where all of my vocals go onto. All of my main vocals, the left and right panning stacks, and all of the backing vocals as well. So the vocals also sound like they're in one room. But I added this extra plate reverb here just to add some more color. And then the cool thing about a bus is, if you want to change something about the reverb, it automatically changes the reverb for all of these tracks that go onto this bus. And I can play around with the volume. And I can also automate this reverb bus. Tip number 2 is EQ those reverbs. This is a really fast way to just really clean up your mix. Now, I like to take away a lot of the low end on a reverb, and I also like to take away a lot of the high end, because a lot of low end reverb is going to make it sound super muddy, and high end reverb is really going to emphasize those high sharp tones. So play around with that, but don't be afraid to really just cut off a lot of that, and feel free to play around with the placement of the EQ before and after the reverb as well. And third and last underrated mixing tip for beginners is, if you want a big, clear, amazing sounding recording, what you don't want is a lot of big fat sounds. Instead, what you want to do is you want to layer a ton of thin sounds and make sure that each one of your tracks has its own place in the mix. If you want more bass, more mids, and more high ends in your mix, don't just turn up bass, mids, high ends on each and every one of your tracks. Make sure that every one of these frequency ranges in your song has its very own layers, and that these are clear and well placed. So if you have a song and it's sounding kind of muddy and not clear, and it's not hitting yet, and it's not fat enough, maybe the trick is not making the sounds fatter, but making them thinner. Try it out and let me know what you think. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment what you think,